Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Embracing Infinity. I'm Jennifer Rose, and we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. How is everybody doing? Happy Friday. Happy weekend, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. I'm super excited to be having my lovely friend and colleague and fabulous medium, Ashleigh Paige, joining me very, very shortly here today. So as we're all coming on, a few quick announcements for you all. Later this evening, I will be going live with my co-host, Miss Nancy Muratalla, the Queen of Fashion, for our show, Fashionably Spiritual. That's at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 9:30 Eastern, and 2:30 a.m. in the UK Saturday morning. Our guest this coming evening is the lovely Karen Bonafilio, who I know you all love and adore as much as I do, and we're excited to have her joining us as well too. She is a author, 3-time author, probably going on 4, I think, and she is also the host of Inner Realms Outer Journeys on Mondays and Saturdays on the Sacred Spiral Network. So we're going to have a really fun time tonight, so please do join us for a fun Friday night, night with the girls, everybody too. In addition, everybody, this coming Monday on the Love Show, my sister show, which will be following Inner Realms Outer Journey and Be in the Light with Brian Lahr, I have Maria and Drew Brophy joining me. And you might all remember that Maria and Drew are a couple, and Drew is a world-renowned surfer artist who also had an NDE during COVID. So we're going to hear about their love story. Maria wrote a book called COVID, A Love Story, to sort of chronicle the journey that they went through his NDE and through his recovery afterwards. And their story is remarkable and beautiful, and you will be literally pulled in. You won't be able to take your eyes off the screen as we're listening to their story. So I'm super excited and honored to have them joining me once again on the Love Show, my sister show, which will be at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern, and 2 a.m. in the UK. Wonderful. Thank you. You can find me over at mediumjenniferrose.com, and coming in September, I will be starting up my usual events, my Sunday services, my meditations, my Mediumship Development Circle as well. That's all going to be coming back online this coming September, August. We're all on vacation. We take a little break from these things. But I do have a workshop coming up last weekend of August. It's a Mediumship Essentials workshop as well. So if you want to spend a weekend immersed in spirit with a lot of loving people, you're welcome to come and check that out and sign up for that as well. Okay, my dear friends, quick hello to everybody who's joined us. Let me see who we have coming on. Okay, Mr. Brian Lahr. Hello, my friend, Magic Man. He's going to be hosting his show again, Be in the Light, over on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. Pacific. So that's a fabulous show as well to catch. I also see Miss Tammy, Texas Desert Road, Tammy Terrell. Love you, girl. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. The beautiful Heidi Gold from Colorado joining us as well too. Love you. All my queens are here. Miss Jennifer McCormick from the UK as well. Great to see you. Beautiful too. Everyone's coming on. Beautiful. Let me see. Jess Welton. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us as well. A good friend of Ashleigh's, and Andrea Reese. Welcome. So happy that you're here as well. Mary Coombs. Welcome, welcome. Love to see you as well. So everybody's coming on, making their way. Presh. Good to see you too. Okay. Okay, wonderful. You're all coming along. That's good to see. Okay, beautiful. Let's go, everybody. All right. When you commit to the path, we know this path, all my fellow medium friends. Hello, Lynn Juno. What happens when you fully commit to your spiritual evolution? Today, I'm sitting with Ashleigh Paige, the No Filter Medium, for a powerful, unscripted discussion about radical alignment and the true path of becoming. We're diving deep into the moments where you step out in faith, embrace your inner truth, and watch the universe move mountains to match your energy. Today, we're going to be exploring the power of transformation, how committing to your expansion changes everything, and how spirit matches your effort with sudden opportunities. Full acceptance of self, standing firmly in your inner truth, and learning to trust your intuition implicitly. Surviving shifts, navigating the heavy transitions, boundaries, and growth spurts that come right after your biggest spiritual upgrades. Oh, we know what that's like, everybody. Whether you are navigating a profound life shift, building a spiritual business, or learning to trust the unseen, this raw conversation will provide the clarity and momentum you need to keep moving forward. My beautiful guest, Ashleigh Paige, is a gifted evidential psychic medium, channeler, and Reiki master whose spiritual journey began with an innate awareness of spirit from a young age. After years of repressing her intuitive abilities, Ashleigh experienced a transformational spiritual awakening in 2021. Her journey blossomed through learning Reiki, which ultimately led her to develop and share her powerful evidential mediumship. Ashleigh is deeply passionate about empowering individuals to step into their fullest potentials, guiding them to embrace their own spiritual gifts and wisdom. Currently, she is expanding her practice to include trance mediumship and spirit release therapy, further deepening her commitment to holistic healing and spiritual liberation. You can find Ashleigh at thenofiltermedium.com, on Instagram at thenofiltermedium, and on Facebook on Ashleigh Paige. So without further ado, welcome to everybody who's joined us. Let's welcome in Ashleigh. Hello, you're muted, lovely.
I'm so sorry. I put it on mute so I didn't make any weird noises. And of course, I forgot to take myself off.
You're perfectly fine. How are you, love? Thank you for being here with me today.
I'm amazing. I always love being in your energy. Ever since the first time I met you, it was, high vibes right from the beginning. So I always get super excited, and I'm probably talking really fast right now, but I just feel the energy is really high today. And I love seeing all people in the comments. Thank you so much for coming and supporting us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. You have a lot of friends here and a lot of fans here as well. Charlene is here. Rosie is also here. Miss Vivian is here too. Joe is here. So welcome. Lynn Juno is here too. So they've all showed up to support you. So I love this. So beautiful, Ashleigh. Okay, my dear. Mm-hmm. So 2021, we had this big spiritual awakening, and we're also developing our mediumship too. So it's like, we're in 2026. You have done a huge amount of expansion in a short amount of time, which I understand what that's like too. And where could you say how would you describe yourself before the awakening, and then kind of during and after, sort of the shift of how you see yourself now and how you view the Ashleigh who was not quite sure where she was going to go with this yet?
I never would have thought in a million years that I would end up being here with you today, becoming a psychic medium, doing readings for people. Even 2 years ago, I probably would have said, there's no way that's going to happen. When I had my spiritual awakening, it was actually probably near the end of 2021. Mm-hmm. And as you know, it was as a result of meeting my twin flame. And that situation fell apart. And I spent probably the next year really doing a lot of shadow work, or probably, something similar to like a dark night of the soul. And then in 2023, that's when I started learning Reiki. And that just blew me wide open. And I was doing treatments on people, and people's family members would show up. So I was like, I really have to do something about this, because I don't really understand. I understand what's happening, but I'm kind of frightened because I don't really know how to, deal with it, because I didn't have the tools and the foundation and the support. So that's when I found a mentor, and that just totally changed my trajectory. But before my spiritual awakening, I was in a long-term relationship. I left that in the end of 2019. And I was kind of in, an area of chaos because I was in a long-term relationship. I was starting out on my own. COVID had just happened a couple of months later. So I was really worried about, what if I lose my job? How am I going to take care of myself? So there was so much going on, and things just kind of accelerated from there. And my path kind of just unfolded for me. And it's been challenging at times, but I've now developed this deep trust in spirit. And I know where they're guiding me is to new levels of ascension. So I kind of just sit back and enjoy the ride, because I feel like that's pretty much all you can do.
I get it. We figure that out. First comes the resistance and confusion, and then it's like, oh, okay, we'll just watch all this play out. So I understand that quite a bit too. Beautiful too. Would you mind describing a little bit about what the sort of like the dark night of the soul, was like for you, and like what you experienced learning about yourself, seeing in yourself, because that's very much an inward journey, and we're forced to kind of really see more parts of ourselves that when we're just keeping very busy, we don't take ever time to look at, on the inward journey. So would you be okay with sharing a little bit of what that was like for you?
For sure. That is one thing about me. And that's actually why I call myself the no filter medium, is because I don't put on a persona. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. And I'm very open about my vulnerabilities. So for me, I had a deeply rooted rejection wound that stemmed actually from my mom, but also my mom's mom. So it was generational, and it was very, very deep. So, when you go through a twin flame journey, a big part of that is actually the rejection wound. For me, that just blew it wide open. So there was a lot of inner work that I needed to do in regards to self-worth, showing up for myself, stop seeking validation from external sources, even if it's work, people, relationships, any of those things. So there was a lot of work that came up from the depths of my soul that needed to be recognized and worked through. And that's gotten me really to the point that I'm at today, where I'm very comfortable. I still get nervous. I was up at like 4 a.m. this morning thinking about all these things, for the show today.
Yeah.
So I am very open about that too, but I don't let it stop me. So I've done a lot of work on showing up for myself and really giving the love that I was seeking from other people to myself. All of that love that I was so willing to give to other people, I've really taken it and put it back on myself, and really shown up for myself and built myself into a person, that I would want to be with.
Oh, I love that so much. That's beautiful. And what was like the shadow work for you? Like, was there certain practices that you put in place to help you cultivate this inner self-love?
I guess for me, I was looking at my behaviors. So why I was acting or reacting in a certain way when a certain situation would come up. Because I guess I was attracting a certain type of person that just wasn't emotionally available. So I was like, why am I so attracted to people that can't show up for me emotionally? So I started to look at that within myself, and I started to really get to the root of certain behaviors. And then what I did was I basically implemented techniques to counteract that, or to correct those behaviors. So no longer entertaining, if I would go on a date with someone and, they're showing, red flags about not being able to show up emotionally, not continuing and, walking away from those situations that I know are not going to serve me long term.
I love that. So you've learned not to ignore red flags just because you want the attention, or because you want to spend the time, or because you want someone to like it. That's a very good progress to get to. I understand that completely. And what does it feel like to love yourself in this way? Because it's a very different experience energetically when you start to love yourself in this new way, where you're turning it inward and you're actually giving it to yourself for the first time. What does that feel like for you, and how is that different from what you felt before that?
Amazing. I mean, I feel so free. I feel so abundant. I feel so powerful. Like, I really do feel like at this point in my life that I'm the most powerful I've ever been. And it's because I'm standing in my true authentic power. So, and I wasn't doing that before. I was giving my power away to situations, people, things that were not serving me. And I'm sorry, Jen, can you repeat the last part of that question?
How it feels to experience that inner self-love, because it does change you, the way that you see the world, the way you see yourself. Just it's almost an energy. It may be hard to even put into words, but it's like compared to before, when we weren't loving ourselves as much, and how the change that's within you.
Yeah, what just popped up for me was actually like emotional regulation. So I feel like before, situations would take me out for days, even weeks at a time, something that was like really heavy emotionally. Now I can process that pretty much within like a day or two, depending on what it is. Some situations are heavier than others, but I think if we're talking just about like relationships and like everyday life, I feel like now I can process things so much quicker. And I'm just in a better place mentally, spiritually, physically. I feel really healthy. My mind's really clear. I've done a lot of work being like, focusing on mindfulness and really clearing out anything too that like I'm holding on to that's no longer serving me or not even mine. That was probably like a big thing for me that I've had to learn through this process is, clearing my energy field and not holding on. As an empath, I'm a feeler. I pick up on everything. So I was holding on to a lot of stuff that just wasn't even mine. So I feel like because I've done all of that work, I can process and work through things a lot more faster than I could before. And like I said, it doesn't weigh me down. It doesn't slow me down anymore. Where before those things would have, taken me out for, days, weeks, months. So that's really been huge for me.
I love that so much. And the way you spoke about, healing the rejection wound, and how that's changed you now and your ability to self-regulate your emotions too. This is very much, along the lines of nervous system healing, because when we keep getting attracted to partners who are emotionally unavailable, it's because that's what our nervous system knows, and we're thinking we're just so wrong, or we're just doing it wrong, and we don't know how to do it different. But that's all we know. That's all our nervous systems. That's all we've experienced during our lifetime. And so the work that you've done has helped to relearn, reteach your nervous system to accept something better, to know something better, to expect something better. And that's a huge transformational shift to come into. And doesn't it feel good when, the falling off the tower, instead of being this high, it's just a little blurb, you can get through in a few hours to a day or whatever, and then you can move on to. Yeah.
And that's one thing I always tell people. I feel like we sometimes can build that wall to keep people out, but the storm always comes. That's life. We're always going to face challenges and difficulties. So the goal isn't to build the wall to keep people out. The goal should be to build that wall to withstand the storm. And I'm very big on like creating the safe harbor within. And what you said there about nervous system regulation is I was looking for safety in people, places, and things instead of giving it to myself. So I've really cultivated making myself safe and taking care of me and putting myself first, because that is actually how I'm able to give so freely to others.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? We know ourselves to be givers throughout our whole life, especially being so empathic. And then we realize that when we give to ourselves on that kind of level, the radical self-love, becoming the parent to our own little one inside, like, lo and behold, we actually have more to give and better to give. And it does more. And it's like, that's a little surprise people might not be expecting as a gift of doing the work and being brave and bold enough to do the inward journey as well too. Hello to everybody who's joined us. We welcome your comments and questions as well too. I want you to know I see you all as well too. Another thing you spoke of, Ashleigh, is being an empath and learning to clear the energies that we've kind of collected from others along the way too. And that's another big part is training our energy to not reach out and collect it. Because I know a lot of times with empaths, when they're a little bit newer on their journey of understanding their energy, they think it's all kind of coming at them, like a meteor shower or something. Like they don't realize that we've gotten used to taking responsibility for others by reaching out and touch the energies. We'll take responsibility for that. We'll take responsibility for that. Maybe that will make them safer to be around. Maybe that will make them feel better and appreciate me more. And maybe that makes me better in a way. So it's a very like an energetic codependency. And you being able to break that cycle of not reaching out and collecting more energies from other people. This is what we call a matured empath. And this is when I see the color in the auric field, the pink deepens. It deepens into a darker pink. So that's what I know. Oh, someone's done the work. That's really beautiful too. Okay. Now I would love to shift Miss Ashleigh into how this connects with your mediumship. Because there's been a lot of buzz lately about being a good medium and doing the work so that we can hold space for our clients in a very appropriate way, and why the self-development is so important so that it doesn't interfere with our messaging and our connection with spirit. So let's apply this transformational work to your mediumship as well, and what you've learned from that and what you can also offer to all of our guests here today.
Yeah, for me, it's all about being the clearest channel for spirit. And that is incredibly hard because we are here to have a human experience, right? And I do notice, if there's something that I'm going through that is quite heavy, I do find that it does affect my mediumship. I'm just a baby medium. I've only been doing this for 2 years, so I have a lot more to go. But that is something I have noticed. If, I'm out of alignment emotionally, I do notice that there is a difference in my mediumship. So I really try to be very conscientious of like who I surround myself with, what I'm listening to. I don't watch TV because I don't want the energetic interference that comes with those types of things, because the world it can be very heavy and it can be kind of chaotic. So I want to be the peace. I want to bring the light. So I try to, limit, and I'm very cautious with, my circle of friends. I like high vibe people, all of those things I feel add to that. But yeah, being a clear channel, and that can be challenging because there's a lot of things that come up in the journey that we need to look at when we're developing mediumship. So yeah,
you've done an excellent job so far, because I listened to and watched your readings. You're very good, and I'm grateful that we have you in our community, helping spirit in this very beautiful and professional way. So and so the hard work that you've done on yourself pays off in your mediumship. It absolutely does. Too. And so you'll continue to blossom in more rewards and gifts along the way, and more fabulous things. So, and I understand, and as developing mediums too, when we're all developing, we're always developing. It never, it never ends, the development too, but we are allowed to give ourselves some grace if we're not perfect every time as well too. Like that's important too. And myself, I learned to compartmentalize really well. So I take a moment to put aside any of my stuff before I enter in with a client too. So that helps to kind of create a container. It's just us.
That's a very good point. And that's actually something I've started doing with my intention setting before I do a reading, is I say, Spirit, help me. I don't want to say take away the human mind, but help me put my human story to the side. Just for this reading, so that I can be the clearest channel, so I can serve spirit, so I can serve the person in front of me to the best of my ability, because that's always my goal, is to always bring forward whatever you need for your highest and your greatest good. I love empowering people. I love showing people it's possible to transform and to really stand in your power.
That's a beautiful intention. I love that. And so we all can hear that, and you could put that into practice as well if you haven't too. The beautiful Kellyanne Washino saying, the world, especially now, needs people to bring the light. That's very beautiful. And Teresa also said, wow, beautiful to what you were saying. Miss Mary Coombs, it is so empowering to love yourself first. Yep. And I see Mallory, take time to find your true self. Love that. Okay, beautiful. Sarah has a question for you. Would people take advantage of your kindness?
They used to, yes. That was a big thing when I was a child, because I was very empathetic and I was very sweet. I was very kind, and I thought everyone was just like me. So I kind of had to learn some lessons the hard way as a child, that not everyone, just because I would react to a situation in a certain way, doesn't mean other people would react that same way. So that was definitely something that came across my path as a youngster, where people did quite often take advantage of me. And I feel now I've really come to balance my kindness, but also having boundaries and saying no if something is draining or just doesn't feel like it's in alignment. But that is also too a part of who I am, and I have a very open and kind heart. So I always promised myself, I said, no matter what happens, I'll never let the world harden me. But I had to also learn to balance that with having proper boundaries, because I needed to not protect myself, but protect my energy and make sure I wasn't over exerting myself.
Yeah, very good. I understand. When we are so highly empathic, we want so much to heal everybody and love them too. But I do also understand the path of how people sometimes perceive us because we're so nice, and they can perceive that as an opportunity for themselves too. So another learning lesson for us to be kind, but in our power, so that we can shift the energy and maybe not attract the opportunists who would like to. Oh, your kitty cat has shown up. I always love when that happens. Okay.
I'm actually surprised she didn't show up earlier.
I love it when, pets show up and kids show up too. It just makes it that much more fun too. Okay. Mallory is saying deepest pink transforms. Ooh, I love that so much. And Joe is saying, I don't have patience for people that drag me down.
You go, Joe. That's right.
But still kind to everybody.
Right. That's right.
Beautiful, beautiful combination. Okay. And Rosie is saying, people always try to walk all over me because I'm too kind. And recently I've been learning to just say no to people. That's a hard one. Yeah. That's a hard one. Would you have anything you can offer her as she's on the journey of learning to say no and learning to, it can be a little tricky because sometimes we can go to the other end of the spectrum and almost get a little bit too rigid too. So it's trying to find a nice place on the spectrum.
And people pleasing, that's actually what popped up for me when you read that comment. Yeah. And that is something I feel, and that's something I've had to work through too. Because I was a people pleaser, because I grew up in a family. And a lot of times this stuff is tied to the dynamics and the conditioning that you had as a child. So I grew up in a family where it was better to be quiet, than be seen. So I feel like I kind of developed a people pleasing, I don't know if I call it a skill, but I was people pleasing to keep the peace, because in my family dynamic growing up, things were a little bit chaotic. So I kind of learned that, if I kept quiet or if I, kept neutral, kept things peaceful, that it helped me balance my emotional self as a child.
It made you feel safer.
Yeah.
It made you feel safer. It is. It's a survival tool, really, an emotional survival tool, and sometimes even a physical and mental survival tool as well. So we can look at people pleasing not as a negative thing that we need to get rid of, but as something that served us for a time being. And now we can do it differently because it's not really serving us anymore. And now we can learn to do it differently. So the path of learning to set boundaries and be kind, but to a limit that's within your ability to meet somebody else's needs without not meeting your own, and still continue to meet your own. That takes a lot of self-work and transformation to get there.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Healing the people pleaser.
That's a deep one for a lot of people.
It is, especially for women. Men too, yes, but especially for women, because culturally we are, conditioned. I love your kitty. The tail is just like, that's great. The cultural conditioning is to, not be seen, not be heard, be nice, be sweet, be kind, to all of this stuff too. And this brings me to another point, Ashleigh, is when spiritual teachings and concepts can sometimes, and maybe more than sometimes, reinforce behaviors or ways of being that really don't serve us anymore. And so it's like spirituality needs to continue to modernize and evolve, because there are teachings that may have just lost their purpose for where we are now today. Or perhaps they were adulterated a little bit along the way too, just like passages in the Bible would have been too. And how can we reframe spirituality so that we have more balance in, yes, being kind, yes, being of service, but not to the point where it harms the self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, balance is key, I think, for that too. I feel like balance has come up so much in this conversation today. So that's definitely a key theme. But for me, like spirituality, like it's transformed my life. It has really made me, value and love myself and transform and be able to give and provide service to others, which is, that's my soul's purpose, why I'm here in this lifetime. Yeah. So for me, it's been highly transformational. And I don't know why this is coming up, but what's coming in is like, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, I feel like there's anyone watching, that if you are watching a lot of like spiritual shows, or you're doing a lot of work, if something doesn't resonate with you, just, set it aside and stick with what does.
Yeah, I love that very much. And it's like, you can just pull the nuggets of wisdom that work for you and leave the rest, and then form your own little package of your know thyself journey too. Yeah, I love that too. And I also understand that with some of our spiritual teachings and concepts, they may be helpful for some and not helpful for others, based on where you're at and what you're working on too. And so what your own core wounds and patterns are exactly too. And so then it's like, how could we kind of find a way to say, like, this is for this kind of situation, but not for this kind of situation too, because it causes confusion. So for some reason, I feel like we need to talk about this too, as well too. And I feel also like I want to shift over to your Reiki practice and how that energetically switched things up for you, because I can tell like the things went on, like when you started, channeling that energy, everything started switching on, and that must have been a wow.
It was the best way I can describe it to people is when I first had my level 1 attunement, it was like I was watching TV on a regular channel and I got attuned, and it was like all of a sudden my life went to like HD. And, my perception was instantly increased. My sense of feeling was also increased. And it just felt like I was more connected to everything. Like I just felt this connection to like what I now know is to be the field of everything. So it really, I feel like it reawakened what was already dormant in me from a young age that I had suppressed because I didn't want people to know. I always felt different, and I was bullied as a child. So I didn't want to be more of an outcast than I already was. So I hid that part of myself for a very long time. And it's like Reiki like reactivated that within me. And I thought, this is amazing. And I really only wanted to learn. I didn't even want to become a psychic medium. I only wanted to learn Reiki level 1. I think I paid $40 for the course. I thought, this is cool. I'll learn how to heal myself. And, then it transformed to, wow, like there's this energy that I can channel now, and it's so beautiful and it's gentle and, it's so loving. And I thought, why not do level 2? And then I did level 2 and I was like, why not do master level? And then that's when things really started to come online. I actually set an intention when I was in my master attunement to have more, or I should say, enhanced clairvoyancy. I always tell people, be careful what you ask for, because I literally went home and I'm seeing angels and hooded figures and beings and people I know who have crossed over. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And that's when my journey really started to take off. And then that's when I was like, I have to find a mentor. I was laying in my bed one day. I was just flipping through Instagram and I came across Courtney Dawson, and she was offering a mediumship development course. And I clicked on her profile and I joined it. And I thought, everything happens for a reason. It's not by chance that I came across that profile and that reel that she had posted. And that's, where my journey really started to take off and really blossom. And then I kind of just followed like the breadcrumbs or the nuggets that spirit was leaving for me. And I feel like, spirit will do those things because they're leading you on a path. You always have free will. I always tell people you have the right to choose how your life plays out. I do think that certain things are preordained, that you meet certain people. I do feel like I was meant to meet you. I felt that from the very first time. And sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but I feel like spirit leaves you these little nuggets, and it's, I started following them, and I kind of just trust that, like, what appears in my awareness, if it feels aligned and it feels right, I act on it. So yeah,
I love that about following the breadcrumbs. That's that really is the way. That really is the way too. And what you were describing, I was like, oh, welcome to Wonderland. She's gone down the rabbit hole. She's never coming out. So,
and it's scary when you're going through it, but now I have the hindsight. And I look back and I'm like, this has been absolutely incredible. I've faced so many challenges, and those, were hard, but where I've come to at the point that I'm at now, and just the energy that I'm sitting in, is like, life is beautiful. And I've met so many amazing people, right? And I get to serve spirit and serve humanity. When you follow your passion, nothing, like, that's what brings me joy. When I was, going through like the dark night of the soul, I was thinking, like, what's my purpose? And I thought, I love people and I love spirituality. Like, I've had, experiences since I was a child. There's obviously a reason for this. And I thought, then Reiki popped up, and it just kind of unraveled from there.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. What a beautiful story. And Kim is, she has the same changing rag you have in the background. That's too funny.
Did you get it from Wayfair? It was supposed to be a light green, and then it arrived, and I'm like, this is like forest dark green. It looks almost black.
But yeah, it does look close to back. No, it's a very nice green background. I like it very much. It has a nice texture to it. Michael Zinn has joined us as well. Hello, Michael Zinn. Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Kim Princess came to support us as well too. Thank you, Miss Kim Princess. I love that. Let me see here too. Teresa, yes, in the description on both Facebook and YouTube, you will find all of Ashleigh's links so that you can follow her on Facebook and on Instagram, and also go to her website as well. Do you have something they can join on the website, like a subscription or a newsletter, anything like that at this time?
I actually don't, but that's a really great suggestion. I feel like I'm at this transitional point where I really need to start focusing on building the business even more, because I still work full time. I work a full time admin job. This is kind of, I don't take it as a side hustle because this is so important to me. But it is a business that I have to run when I'm not working traditional hours. But that is actually a great suggestion, and that is something that, I'm gonna look into.
Oh, I love that for you. I love that. And we get to grow. We get to keep leveling up and adding more. Jess is like, I was wondering why it wasn't sage green. Billy Doll, loving the conversation. Good to see you, friend. Thanks for joining us. Hello to Regina as well. Hello to Teresa. Hello to Craig as well too. We've got some more friends kind of coming in and joining us. And I also want to say hi to our lovely Queen of Fashion and Beauty, Miss Nancy Muratalla, who's here as well. And her and I will be going live later this evening on Fashionably Spiritual with the lovely Queen Karen Bonifilio as well too. So we're very excited for that too. And Humzone, you two are so real, very refreshing. Thank you. This is Mary. I know her. Thank you, Mary. So kind of you. That's really beautiful. All right, my dear. I want to talk about the Ascension and how you have come in to understand yourself as a part of that. But let's go there. I know, how fun, right?
I don't know. I'm not even sure where to start on that conversation. Where do we start here, Spirit? Ascension. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for the pause.
It's all good. It's all good. So um, this is what I'll preface this with is, there was a time not long ago where in the mediumship community, we were pretty much just talking about spirit world all the time,
Mm.
mediumship all the time. And now all of a sudden, it's become pretty commonplace. We're talking about, star beings, angels, guides, we would do that before, but now we're talking about star beings. Now we're talking about ascending. We're talking about 5D. We're talking about humanity, raising its frequency and what that's going to do and what's that like. And I think that a lot of us mediums on the way are starting to remember that. It's like continued awakening and continued remembering. And I remember, earlier on, you said you're understanding that as a medium, you're playing a part in helping to ascend us all, and it really is all hands on deck, Ashleigh.
Sure is. Yeah, I definitely feel like I came here at this, my soul chose to come here at this, point in time to help raise the vibration of the planet, and to show people, it is possible to transform. I have had actually probably in the last, I would say 6 months to 8 months, I have had experiences where I have been visited, mostly I would say by extraterrestrials. What's really interesting, and that you're bringing this up today, is that this morning I was sitting in meditation. I had a reading this morning before I started work, and I was sitting in meditation, and I actually had a shapeshifter, and I've never had that before. And it first appeared as like a blue, I would probably put it in the category of an ET, but it felt angelic in nature. So I don't know if that's ever happened to you, but then it shifted into the goddess Diana. So I thought that was like really interesting. I've never had that happen before, but I have been visited by certain species, I'll say, of extraterrestrials that have come through in meditation, very high vibrational beings. A lot of times what's happening, and this is from my experience, is they're upgrading my energy field to be able to hold more capacity, I guess, if I could say it that way, more energetic capacity. Because what they've shown me is that, and that's why I've been prepping and doing, getting on camera and practicing speaking and, working through all the nervousness, because they want me to speak on stage. They want to speak through me. There's a level of trance that will come eventually in my ascension to help raise the vibration of the planet.
Yes. Oh, I love that so much. And I also feel like you're going to incorporate trance healing as well, alongside your Reiki too. I can see that for you. Michael Christopher's joined us. He's come to support you as well. So hello, MC. Good to see you. And Miss Kelly and Washino says, I love the ascension process. I feel that we are moving in that direction. I have been told that I have ascended on 2 other planets, and now I am on that path for planet Earth. Yeah, we're remembering our volunteer, what we volunteered here for. It's like, oh, we remember this now. Isn't that amazing? Melissa, I love you, Melissa. Hello, girl. She says, you're already doing it, bringing your light, being a way shower, sharing the love of the universe. I love all the energy you both bring into the space you occupy. Thank you, Miss Melissa. Yeah, she has the Sacred Doorway podcast over on Mind Travel Cafe on YouTube. So please do check her out and give her a subscribe over on her channel. She's got a lot of great interviews that she does as well too. And Joe Morley saying, my friend was telling me about a dream today. It sounds very familiar. Yeah. So a few years ago, us mediums weren't all talking about our visitations from the ETs. Things have definitely shifted. I had a similar experience where I woke up early in the morning and I was in like the twilight sleep, and I'm like, oh, my ET friends are here and they're giving me healing, and they're doing this other stuff, and they're talking to me telepathically. Would you like this? Yes. Would you like this? No. And then they kind of put this sort of like egg thing around me too, which is common sometimes in healing, to kind of like sort of seal the aura too. And what an interesting experience that was. And we're kind of like, yeah, okay, that happened. But a few years ago, so the dialogue has changed, don't you think, Ashleigh?
Oh, for sure. And it's interesting that you said that, because and we both do mental mediumship, but I feel like with the higher ascended beings, it's like they're in your mind, and it's like instantaneous, the connection. It's not external, if I can say it that way. Not that, I mean, we're all one, but when we connect with those beings, it's like I've never felt that before. I had 3 actually come to me, and it was like all 3 of them were acting almost like a collective, but it was like they were in my mind in communication. It was like we were sharing one mind. I've never experienced anything like that. It was quite transformative.
It is transformative, absolutely, and that's it's magical too. It's magical, and it's definitely continued evidence of your opening, your awakening, but also where we're going, in humanity, and what's happening is giving us evidence of the collective awakening, and we need that. We need that right now too. We need to continue to have the evidence so we can keep hope and faith alive too, and continue to not get into despair and stay on our journey of all helping each other as well too. And but it is fascinating to see how the dialogue has changed. I would say mediumship is coming out of the box from where it once was. And let's talk a little bit about that, actually, about stepping out of the box, because that's a big act of bravery, and for me, during COVID too, I was going through a huge transformation along with a health crisis. And I was made very aware that in addition to as I was trained as a mental medium, though, that I would be connecting with other realms of spirit and would have to, open up to that. And that was part of my journey as well too. And not everybody who I was associated with, took kindly to that or supported that too. So you get doors closing and you get doors opening. And it's like, if that were to happen today, it would be a much different experience, because the minds has opened up to such a broader way. But how has stepping out of the box showed up for you in your journey?
Mm-hmm. It takes so much courage to, be a medium, right? Because the human mind kicks in and you're always worried about getting something wrong. And the last thing I ever would want to do is upset the sitter that's sitting in front of me, because, they've lost people, they're, in a lot of grief. So I always want to bring through whatever is in their highest and their greatest good. So, and me being me, I put a lot of pressure on myself. So if a reading didn't go, to my standard, I would beat myself up over that for days. Where now I've really worked on giving myself grace and accepting the fact that I'm human, and, my heart is in the right place. But that kind of, perfectionism it's not conducive to mediumship, because you want to be as open and relaxed and receptive as possible. But it takes a heck of a lot of courage. So, I just want to say for everyone that's watching, if, you want to start developing and, develop your intuitive abilities, hats off to you for, doing this type of work, because it takes an immense amount of courage to put yourself out there and, potentially, get something wrong.
Yeah. And it's very hard, especially when we've been culturally raised that if you make a mistake, something's wrong with you. Mm-hmm. If you achieve, then you fit in, then you're doing good. And so we have that achievement conditioning within us. And that is one of the beautiful things about mediumship, is because you will be wrong, and they probably, spirit world, your guides and your higher self might do things to help you be wrong, even because they want you to heal from that and learn to be okay with not getting things perfect all the time. That's part of the journey. And then as we heal from that, that's when we start working professionally. And we know, like, we've got this, and it's okay if we don't get everything perfect, but look at all of the things we did do well. Look at all of the evidence we did get. And it's also in partnership with spirit. It's never all up to us. It's like it's a partnership all the way around too. So I love that you brought that up. And but you're right. A lot of mediums, they don't know what they're getting into when they start. They don't know how much inner work they're going to have to do. The spiritualization of the medium is huge. It is huge. I just thought I want to go help people. Mm-hmm. That's I just want to help people in that way. I want to do it that way. Mm-hmm. I have no idea. Why am I in this horrible, like, dark night of the soul? What is that? And it's so.
I think you're crazy, right?
Oh my goodness. Sometimes, Ashleigh, people will come in and they're so eager. They're like, "Let me have it, spirit. I'm open. I'm ready to clear it all." And I'm like, "Whoa."
Careful what you wish for, right?
I know. It looks like MC is Jess here stirring up trouble. Let's see. I thought you were stirring up trouble, MC. I think I missed something, but we're having a good laugh over that in the chat work too. And Arnie Layton is connecting with you as well with the Lyrian collective consciousness. That's really cool, Arnie. Good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're here as well too. And thank you, Miss Lynn. Thank you. I appreciate that too. Okay, just want to check and make sure I didn't miss anything too. Joe is reminding us not to rush through our mediumship as well too. I love that. And Regina is loving the positive energy, the star sheet. Isn't it cool? We're all talking about star seeds now. Yeah, this is great.
I wasn't expecting that to come up in this conversation, but it obviously needed to.
You never know where it's going to go.
I love it.
But yeah, so we step out of the box. Mediumship steps out of the box. The spiritual community starts to step out of the box. The rest of the world may start stepping out of the box too. So it's like, all right, buckle up, kids. Let's see where we're going with this too.
And I think it's becoming more mainstream. Like, I feel like it's becoming more normalized, and people are starting to wake up and see and I tell people this all the time, even developing, you don't have to do this professionally. This will literally help you in every single aspect of your life. It's made me a better friend. It's made me a better daughter. It's made me a better employee. It's made me a better person. So it will really transform every aspect of your life in a beautiful way.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Because when we come into a state of wholeness where we've learned to journey and understand both the light and the dark, not just one, but both. We understand the light and the dark and its purpose and find the beauty in both and achieve this state of wholeness. We're better. We actually have more to offer this world too. And so it's important to understand both. And if we're trying to help humanity, that also involves being able to look at the unseen, the unilluminated, and see where that needs healing as well too. And that's some brave work too. A lot of people don't want to look there, and I understand. But we all need to just see, just look, just see, let it be seen, and then it can heal and transform. Yeah.
Beautiful, Jen. You have such a great channel, and just your whys and the way you speak. It's just it's so enlightening. I love it. I love your energy.
Well, I love your energy too, and I love talking about this as well too. And Regina is saying I want to say Regina, but I know that's not right because there's an extra R. So forgive me, my love. Loving this, exactly what I've been looking for to listen to, meant to tune in, almost emotional. It's hard in this evolution of human life to find other starseeds, light workers. Thank you. That's a beautiful comment. That's beautiful. Thank you for that. And Joe is saying, I was brought up to believe that this was all so bad and not look into it. Now I feel like I've seen the light. Oh, look at that. See? It's proof that things are changing. Proof that we're expanding. I love this. All right, Miss Ashleigh, we have a few minutes left, and I would like to leave it to you for any last final words you'd like to leave us, anything you'd like to, you can say it for the collective, anything, it's all yours. Go.
All right. This message actually has come up quite a bit recently, so I'm just going to say it again here. It happened on Sunday too, where it was anyone that's watching this that is in any way, shape, or form playing it small, that would like to take a chance on something that they're extremely passionate about and step out of the box. I just want to send you so much love and encouragement in that it is completely safe to do so. Honor your passion, follow what's true to you, and Spirit has your back 1000%. I promise you, if you show up and you put in that effort and you take that action, they will match you 1000%. So go after whatever it is that you are dreaming about, that you're passionate about, and give it your all. Just go for it. Take the chance.
Oh, that is perfect. So inspiring, Ashleigh. Thank you for joining me and sharing that. I got chills with that one too. So it's like that's what everybody needed to hear. It was perfect. So inspiring. Thank you, my beautiful friend, for being my guest here on Embracing Infinity. I know we're going to connect again in the future, but again, everybody, you can find Ashleigh at the nofiltermedium.com, and she's also on Facebook and Instagram as well. And all of her links in bio are in the description, both on Facebook pages over and on YouTube as well. Sacred Spiral Network YouTube, Medium Jennifer Rose YouTube as well, so you'll be able to find it, and it's right there on the pages, whichever one you're watching. You can go back in and link into the description as well too. Thank you all for joining us. I look forward to seeing you this evening on Fashionably Spiritual with my lovely co-host Nancy Murtala and our guest Karen Bonafilio. Please do also join me on Monday for the Love Show with Drew and Maria Brophy as well too. We have a fabulous evening planned for you. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Monday as well. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our beautiful Laurie Smith and Kelly Brickle, producing and helping us in the background over here to make everything run smoothly, just like it has done in this last hour. And our beautiful friends and guests, your love, your support, your beautiful comments. We love you dearly, and we thank you for spending your time here with us this afternoon and evening. Have a beautiful weekend. Live well, love you well, and keep walking with grace, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you, Ashleigh. Bye, everybody.